An injury and crutches almost prevented me from coming to Disney World this week, but I made it and I've learned a whole new world about Disney accessibility services that I want to share with you. Hey friends, it's Sammy back with another episode of The Daily Dash. That's right, it's everything you need to know from around the world and in my life, straight from my car dashboard to yours. I'm not on the dash. I am at Disney's Contemporary Resort here in Lake Buena Vista, Orlando area, and I have a whole lot of news to share with you, plus what my week is looking like with an injury. So let me first tell you, President Joe Biden has announced that he will officially enter the 2024 race. Aaron Rodgers is being traded to the New York Jets. We lost a couple legends. Harry Belafonte passed away, as well as the actor that played Dame Edna. That was a fabulous show back in the day. Tucker Carlson of Fox News and Don Lemon of CNN were both let go yesterday. I had notes. Oh, and Disney actually has laid off several thousand workers. They had announced in February they were going to be doing that. Not so much on the theme park fronts, but across their companies. It's also National Drug Take Back Day, so find a safe way to get rid of those prescription drugs you no longer need or are using, or over the counter for that matter. If you missed any of that, you can find it below. You can find me at the Sammy Cone on Twitter and Instagram, sammycone.com, and on YouTube. Yes, I'm losing my voice because we did ride the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride at Epcot, and it was beyond fabulous. But that's not what this is about. This is about me injuring myself. As many of you know, last weekend I was playing tennis with my son and two other guys half my age, and I went down. I don't know if I've talked about this, but just anyway, volley was hit at my feet. My feet went out from under me and got taken down. So I was in the hospital. Well, went to the hospital, went to the PT the day before I left, and thankfully was diagnosed properly. It's a strained hamstring, something else with my IT band. I don't know. There's three things. I can't remember them all. But the main thing was that he said, yes, go on the trip. Just take a few precautions. And I think knowing is the first step to just letting your mind relax. Like, you're going to be okay. Here's what you need to do. So I want to go through some of the things that I've learned because I've never, thankfully, needed a wheelchair while at Disney. And this time I did, because one of the things I was going to leave you with, but my physical therapist said, don't be a hero. So basically, like, if you need the help, take the help. Not only are you saving yourself from more pain, but you're not slowing the group that you're with down. So when we were in the parks, I had actually looked in, Disney had said that they work with an outside scooter rental company. And what that does is that you can have an electronic mobility scooter delivered to your resort. So it'll be there. You leave it there when you go, and then you can take it to and from the parks. It seemed like a great thing, honestly. But I think there was a minimum 4-day rental. It's about $35 per day when you do that. And I just couldn't get that in time. So I didn't do that. When you rent an electronic scooter or an ECV from Disney parks, they're about $50 a day, but you do need to put down a $20 deposit, which you get back. So that was one option. The other is to get a wheelchair, and those are $12 a day. Or if you do multi-day, they're only $10 a day. So they're really affordable. Plus, if you're staying at a Disney resort, what I learned as I was crutching up to the monorail station, someone said, do you need a wheelchair, honey? And my son's like, yes, which he may have recanted later after he had to push me around all day. But a lot of the resorts and the monorail stations will have complimentary wheelchairs just to help you get to that point in the park where you can rent your wheelchair. Now, obviously, as the day goes on, those go quicker. So keep that in mind if you are wanting to take advantage of that. But I thought that was a really great way to, help you in between the parks. So scooter rental, wheelchair rental. Ask at the resorts if they have a wheelchair you can use. Ask at the monorail station or at any of the transportation stations. That's something to keep in mind. And what else did I want? Oh, so the biggest thing, you may have heard of DAS, or you may not have if you've never needed. DAS, it's Disability Access Service. And so what this does is help you when you're at the parks with the rides. Now, there's two ways that I've found that you can register. One is by doing it at the theme parks, or there may be other guest relations spots. But at the theme parks, you can go and tell them that you need to make use of the Disability Access Service. Now, here's the key. Disney doesn't want you to share your personal information, much less your medical information. So you don't tell them what your injury is or what your illness is or what your disability is. You tell them how can they help you. So, for instance, for me, I cannot stand in a line for an hour. So I was able to take advantage of the DOS system, which means long gone are the days where you just like happen to be in a wheelchair and they push you to the front of the line. But what it does do is it signs you up and you get to, let's say there's an hour wait for test track. So you kind of select your ride you want to go on test track. And so it lets you kind of wait. You still have to wait that hour, but you don't have to stand and weave through the line. When you have that return window that they give you, you go to the lightning lane, which is typically a paid service, and you get to go through the lightning lane, and then your waits maybe usually no more than 15 minutes. Let's say anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes. So that really helps if you need to stay in a wheelchair or you black out easily or whatever your condition may be. Now, if you don't want to do that, and also you can only take advantage of one lightning lane or one DOS request at a time. So once you get done with test track, then you can go on and look for another attraction and put in your request for that. So it's really just like going from ride to ride. You just don't have to do the actual standing and waiting in line. Now, what I discovered this time is that you can register for DOS ahead of time by reading their terms and conditions, agreeing to it, but then you schedule a live video chat. Well, this seemed all well and good until it literally took me hours. Hours. I think I requested the live chat somewhere around, I had been on the phone with Disney for a while. Let's say 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I did not get on the call until 6:30 that night. And then, of course, I'm worried about, are they kicking me out? Did I lose my place in line? No, it all went through. Just a really long line. So now you're thinking, Sammy, why would you tell me that? That doesn't sound good. Well, if you want to avoid waiting in a line while you're at the park because your kids want to go right to the rides, whatever it is, it might be worth waiting at home. So that is all of that. I think that was all the information I wanted to give you. But it just, like I said, I've never had to do this before, and so I wanted to give you a first-timer's experience. Hopefully you'll never have to use it, but if you do, if you have can't do a crutch like me or, need a wheelchair for a moment, it's helpful. I will say I've been able to get around staying on property. The Contemporary Resort is on the monorail, so you have access to other resorts plus Magic Kingdom. We didn't end up going to Magic Kingdom. I was worn out, and my son was kind of worn out from pushing me around Epcot. We didn't do a second park day, but it is so much more convenient to not have to get in and out of cars or in and off a bus. Like, it's been great to be right here because when you stay at one of the Magic Kingdom resort hotels, you have monorail access not only to the Magic Kingdom, but also to Epcot and the Transportation Ticket Center. So something to think about if your mobility is limited. Okay, what else? I just want to pray today. The focus was kind of the ability and the willingness to work hard. Good things in life aren't easy, but I pray that we keep that drive and that we all have the ability to pursue what we want and just to think, what is it, if I'm going to spend my time doing something, what is it that we want to spend our time working on? So I get to be at a conference this week for bloggers and influencers and content creators, and I think that's fantastic. So I pray you all get to do something you love as well, and just take advantage of every moment. All right, friends, I hope you have a great day. Make sure you make it great, and do not wait to tell someone you love how you feel about them. See you real soon.